Tidal energy is presently one of the more favored forms of marine renewable energy. Currently, tidal energy is still in the early development stages, not being able to compete with fossil fuels. However, the focus on renewable energy sources and the demand for clean energy are contributing to a rapid development of methodologies to harness this type of energy source. Tidal power or tidal energy is the form of hydropower that converts the energy obtained from tides into useful forms of power, mainly electricity. The tidal plants can only be installed along coastlines. Tidal caused by the combining effect of the gravitational force exerted by the Moon, the Sun and the rotational of the Earth. Therefore, there are generally 2 high tides and 2 low tides per day, due to the rotation of the Earth. Height differences between high and low tides create tidal currents in coastal areas, and these currents can be strong enough to drive turbines. The difference of the water level height must be at least 5 meters height to produce electricity. There are many ways to capture tidal energy, but the 3 most popular tidal technologies are tidal stream, tidal barrages, and tidal lagoons. Each method has its own strengths and weaknesses. However, tidal currently isn't the cheapest form of renewable energy, and the real effects of tidal power on the environment have not yet been fully determined. Here are some tidal energy advantages and disadvantages that must not be overlooked. 1. Clean and compact. Tidal energy is completely renewable as it is derived from gravitational pull from both the Moon and the Sun, creating high and low tides. This ensures that the supply of constant energy is available and no disruption of energy will occur. Besides, tidal energy generation also creates zero greenhouse gas emissions. Another advantage of tidal energy is that tidal rise and fall is highly predictable. It is far easier for engineers to design efficient systems than predicting when the wind will blow or when the sun will shine. In addition, plant and equipment used for tidal energy last much longer. Tidal power plants can last much longer than wind or solar farms. The Rance in France, for example, has been operational since 1966. The longer lifespan of tidal power makes it much more cost competitive in the long run. Tidal energy requires high initial costs. While long-term generation costs are relatively good compared to other renewable energy systems, the initial construction cost makes investing in tidal energy a particularly risky venture. 2. Corrosion is a factor that must be considered. Salt water causes corrosion in metal parts. It can be difficult to maintain tidal stream generators due to their size and depth in the water. The use of corrosion-resistant materials can reduce corrosion damage. However, doing so can incur more cost. 3. The effect on marine life must be considered. The turbines can accidentally kill swimming sea life with the rotating blades. There is also concern about how the creation of electromagnetic fields may affect marine organisms. Tidal energy also had given some positive impacts on society. Tidal energy is a new way of developing renewable energy to diversifying energy supply. So it need more expertise and competence to handle and maintenance of the system. It had opened a window for job creation and development for rural areas. The government needs to improve the safeguarded health and safety of the individual communities and the workplace, just like what happens in France, Tidal Power Station. The safety and health need to take into account during energy source equipment production, operations or energy production, and during end-of-life decommissioning, dismantling, and disposal of equipment. Furthermore, the tidal power will also help for irrigation agriculture towards citizen in a rural area. Next, the economic impacts of tidal energy. First, high capital cost for a tidal energy project. Therefore, the electricity cost is very sensitive to the discount rate. In addition, tidal energy technologies such as the turbine play an important role to exploit the kinetic energy in tidal currents. The turbines may cost millions of dollars with some designs that are still in development. Then, the economic effects of the tidal energy power plant on tourism and fishing sector. An increase in tourism has been observed at Canada's Annapolis Tidal Plant, with more than 40,000 tourists visit the Annapolis facility each year. The disruption in the fishing industry is crucial due to negative environmental effects on marine life. The sedimentation caused by tidal barrages could kill clams, while also damaging local shellfish fisheries. Lastly, full-time equivalent jobs will be offered. In the view of political perspective, the tidal energy increases employment and business opportunities, creates significant new federal and state tax revenue. Tidal energy are related to renewable energy policies, which are typically at national or local levels and can mark the success or failure of the renewable energy source. Policy sub-criteria include security, support for renewable energy, energy efficiency such as feed-in tariffs, renewable portfolio standards, and national energy independence. Environmental impact of tidal energy. Tidal flows by damming a bay or estuary could, however, result in negative impacts on aquatic and shoreline ecosystems, as well as navigation and recreation. The most publicized impact of tidal barrages is the potential loss of certain habitats, especially intertidal mudflats and salt marshes. These are particularly important for some species of birds and can be nationally and internationally protected areas. Benthic habitats may change in that the bottom stress due to waves and currents may be modified. Migratory fish may be impeded, although fish passes can be constructed. Conclusion. Tidal energy is a kind of renewable energy with large potential. It has many advantages over solar and wind energy. For example, the availability of tidal energy is highly predictable and not subject to the impact of weather condition. With the development of innovative tidal turbine system and coastal infrastructure, the popularization of tidal energy worldwide can be expected.